Kia ora. This is a quick bookshelf tour, although I'm not sure how quick it's actually going to be. I don't think I've shown the shelf in a while, so let's quickly get into it. So the first on the top, we have Vampire Hunter D, the omnibuses. I believe I'm missing Omnibus 9, Volume 9. Should be there, but we'll probably just get that later. I'm not in too much of a rush. And then we have some children's books. So we have some Del Toro Quest, and then some Vince Ford, and book 13 of a series of unfortunate events. There's this piece of pottery. Then we have the Chronicles of Narnia box set, an Artemis Fowl book, a joke book, and then Stig of the Dump. And then we have Mob Psycho 100, so 4 volumes, 1, 2, 7, and 8. And I'm just picking those up as I see them. Mob Psycho is very, very funny, but also just very candid. And then we have the Tatami Time Machine Blues, which is sort of the sequel to the Tatami Galaxy. Not too much to say about that. Then we have Volume 2 of The Kindling by Daniel Cromar. And we have all of Tokyo These Days by Taro Matsumoto. We have Java Foundations, so just a textbook. Beautiful Star by Yukio Mishima. What's in there? New Days for Old, which is a book of New Zealand prose poems by James Brown. And then we have Longfellow's Poetical Works. Landfall, issue 248, which is a collection of New Zealand writing. And then Janet Frame, The Edge of the Alphabet. Michael Moorcock, Eric of, I can't quite read that because it's sort of faded. Then we have Song of Rhiannon by Evangeline Walton, and we also have Prince of Anoon, also by Evangeline Walton, and then we've got Venomous Lumpsucker. Not too much to say about this shelf. Mostly it's Vampire Hunter D children's books that I've held on to, and then a few sort of miscellaneous things. Only thing I really want to point out is Tokyo These Days is a very, very good manga. And now on to the next row. So we have my Philip Pullman section. So we've got His Dark Materials and the 3 books, the 3 volumes of The Book of Dust, which is the sequel to His Dark Materials. Then we have some Japanese manga. So we have Yu-Gi-Oh! R and Volume 1, and then Volumes 7 and 4 of Flying Witch. Then we have The Hunting Gun, which is just a novel. Non-fiction, Pure Invention by Matt Holt. It's quite a good book, talking about Japanese pop culture and how it influenced the West, and also Japanese technologies and stuff like that. Modern Japanese short stories. So this publisher, Tuttle, is a publisher worth keeping an eye out for if you're looking for East Asian writing, but particularly Japanese writing. They do really good translations, and generally anything that they have is really good. Then we've got Lord Jim by Conrad, Joseph Conrad. Typee by Herman Melville. And then we have The Salvation Sequence by Peter F. Hamilton. So we have Salvation, Salvation Lost, and The Saints of Salvation. So this is science fiction. It's sort of kind of not near future, but like future to like more distant future kind of sci-fi. Not really like distant future, but definitely yeah. It's also a first contact story, so yeah. And then we've got Hilary Mantel, Wolf Hall. Then we have Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, Ubik by Philip K. Dick, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Then we have Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, which it's kind of like it's not great, but it is a really, really good introduction to Japanese authors, modern Japanese authors, not like contemporary ones, but like from the modern period. And this book in this book series is, if anything, very good at introducing you to those authors, and it's probably the best thing about it. Then then we got Slan, which is a science fiction. All Who Live on Islands, which is it non-fiction? I'm not quite sure, but it's I'm saying quite a lot, so I'll try to stop that. We have The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, Paul Auster's La Nuit de l'Oracle, also known in English as Oracle Night. We have Stainless Steel Rat, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, the Dalai Lama's Book of Transformation, the works of Walt Whitman, the Oxford Dictionary of Modern Quotations, Ben Elton's This Other Eden, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, Pale Fire, The Way Home by Peter S. Beagle. We've got an Irvin Welsh, Resolution. We have Japanese Literature, another book published by Tuttle. We have Michael Moorcock, The Oak and the Ram. Stephen Erickson, The Gardens of the Moon, which is the first book in Malaysian Book of the Fallen. We have Roadside Picnic, which is a science fiction, Russian science fiction. Then we have Stendhal par lui-même, which is a sort of biography of Stendhal, who's a famous French author. We have The Analects by Confucius, although this is, I don't know, saying it's by Confucius is sort of slightly misleading. It's more a collection of sayings and then commentary on those, on that, and it's centered around a man named Confucius, and there's a lot of history to it. The majority of this is commentary explaining famous commentaries. So yeah. Then we have The Pillow Book, which is a Japanese classic from around late 900. Then we have W.B. Yeats' collected poems. The first volume of I Am a Cat by Natsume Soseki. This is a very good one. I recommend it. It's a good translation as well. Yeah. I'm looking forward to reading the other two volumes that come out. And we have, finally, to cap this off, oh wait, there's one more thing. On the calculation of volume 3. I didn't realize this was volume 3. I've got volume 1 in the lounge, and I need to pick up volume 2 at some point, but presumably after I read volume 1. And then we have Beat Poets, the Everyman Library Pocket Edition. So yeah, that's this row. Now next one, we have Tek on Concrete in the corner by Taiyo Matsumoto. Then we have Blame or Blam, volumes 1 to 6. Obviously 3 is currently being read. We have Ping Pong, also by Taiyo Matsumoto. We have The Ghost in the Shell, fully compiled edition. We have Trigun, just the first volume of Trigun before it becomes Trigun. I'm trying to remember what the follow-up thing is. Trigun Maximum, yeah. The first deluxe edition of Lone Wolf and Cub. H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness, Go Tanabe's version. Then we have Berserk, which I haven't taken all of them out of their packaging, but I will when I finish reading them. I have read Berserk before, but this is a reread for me. And then we have the first 3 deluxe volumes of Akira, and then just some trading card game riff-raff and some D&D dice. Okay, mostly deluxe volumes of manga on the shelf. Next one. This is sort of my, if I couldn't find a place, I put it here, shelf. So we have 2 random volumes of Ragnar Crimson, 2 volumes of Time Stop, Hero, 3 volumes of To Your Eternity, 2 volumes of The Way of the House Husband, 3 volumes of A Galaxy Next Door, 5 volumes of The Great Jahi-sama Will Not Be Defeated, 1 volume of The Ghost in the Shell Human Algorithm, which is one that I want to continue. So, and I have read that one. Then we have the first omnibus of Noragami, the first one of Fire Force, the first 7 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul Re, the first volume of Fighting for Tomorrow, also known as Ashita no Jo. Then we have 3 volumes of Destroy All Humans That Can't Be Regenerated, 2 volumes of God Bless the Mistaken, 1 random volume 2 of Gintama, Scott Pilgrim, the first volumes 1 and 2 in the coloured version, After God, volume 1, the first 3 gods of Chainsaw Man, the first volume of Bloom Into You. I'll just continue going through the manga and then I'll go through the stuff that's not manga. Then we have some Junji Ito, so we have The Liminal Zone, Mimi's Tales of Terror, Chobits volumes 1, 3, and 4. 2 is being read right now. The first collector's edition of Mushishi. Okay, and then the stuff that is not manga. We have Justine, which is the first volume in the Alexandria Quartet. We have Mikhail Foucault's Ethics, Essential Works, 1954 to 1984. We have a textbook, Classical Myth, and we have the second volume of the Foresight Saga. We have Sympathy Tokyo Tower, and that's that. The bottom shelf. Oh no, there's another one. Okay, I'm gonna quickly run through these because it's just getting into just really random shit now. We have Desperation by Stephen King. The Queen of Spades. Oh, the Queen of Hearts. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what that one's called. The Queen of Spades. The Queen of Spades by Alexander Pushkin. What is that? Okay. Clarice Lispector, The Burning Sinner, and The Harmonious Angel. Shakespeare, Four Tragedies, The Life of Pi. Cousin Bet by Balzac. The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Mother Tongue by Bill Bryson. The Day of the Triffids, Perfume, and Labyrinths. So just various Penguin books. The first bind up of One Piece. The first seven volumes of Dead Demons, Dead Destruction. A textbook, Artificial Intelligence, A Modern Approach. Then we have Stoner by John Williams. T.S. Eliot's Selected Prose. Storm Warden by Jenny Wirtz. Keeper of the Keys, also by Jenny Wirtz. The Book of Elsewhere by Keanu Reeves and China Miéville. The Book of the New Sun, Volume 1 by Gene Wolfe. Then A Little Tiny One, which is Lance by Vladimir Nabokov. Agua Viva by Clarice Lispector. Momentary, which is an art book. Then we have Convenience Store Women, Un Amour de Swan, which is by Marcel Proust. Student Magazine, and the New York Trilogy. Then Turn of the Screw by Henry James, and Clay Eaters by Gregory Cann, which is some New Zealand poetry, and then a bunch of random diaries and books. And then, super quickly on the lost shelf, we have a friend's photo album they left at my house, a bunch of student magazines. Just in there is a biography of Marquis de Sade, some more random junk. There's a cookbook, a Jamie Oliver cookbook, some books in Finnish. We have some Asterix comics, The Beauty of New Zealand, a well-read French to English dictionary, some university documents, the biomechanics of sport and exercise, and then some more random university documents and some old Warhammer codexes. So we've got the Tau Empire and Tau. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. I would say probably the stuff on the top of the shelf is more interesting. And then this is pretty interesting. And then you kind of get to this and it's like, this is just kind of where I've put a lot of my books that I don't want to get rid of, but I also don't want to display anywhere else. Plus a few ones that there just weren't enough space for on other shelves. And then here's just more miscellaneous stuff. This is sort of an overflow because there's a bit more space, so I keep on adding to it. And then the bottom shelf is really just like, who knows what's going on there. Mostly it's just where I keep my student magazines. And, oh yeah, these boxes contain most of my Rift-bound cards. So I've sort of quarantined them there. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.